In 2025, I do not want you ruining the girls trip anymore, asking your friends to do your makeup. No, that time has passed. We grown now. We need to know how to do our own face because you're slowing down the process. Hi guys, it's Casey and welcome back to my channel. So today we have a little makeup video for you and I'm just going to be showing you guys how I do my foundation, because if you can do a flawless base, you really don't have to worry about nothing else. You can throw on a lip, have some false lashes and be good to go. The foundation is really what's going to take you to another level. So I need all my girls to get on board. There's been too many times where the girls is like, can you do my makeup? Can you do this? We don't want that. I'm gonna tell you, as the girls on the trip who like to do their makeup, we get a little aggravated when we got slowed down the process of getting ourselves together to get you ready. No shade, no shade. And I talk to a lot of makeup girls, it's not just me, okay? This is going to be a very thorough step-by-step tutorial on how I do my foundation, concealer, powder, and all the things, and it really gives flawless. Like, I don't know if y'all can see here, but in person, you don't see a pore in sight, okay? It's smooth, it's gorgeous, it's all the things. Now, I will say for a flawless foundation, you need to have a good skincare routine. So if you guys want to see my up-to-date skincare routine, please let me know and I'll be sure to do that for you. So before we begin, you guys already know what to do. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And hit that notification bell so you're notified every single time I upload a new video. And let's go ahead and get started. If you hear Ms. Rachel in the back, please ignore that. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. First things first, I like to use the One Size Secure the Sweat Primer just on my nose because I do sweat on my nose a lot. So if you're a sweaty girl like me, Miss Sweaty Betty, go ahead and apply this wherever you see fit. Now I'm going to be using the Danessa Myricks Yummy Blurring Skin Balm in the shade number 7. Wish I had the shade number 6, but that's neither here nor there. Now I usually use this as a foundation, but my girl Alyssa said try it as a primer and I've been obsessed with it since. It really gives the skin blur, okay? Not a pore in sight. So it works beautifully as a primer. So if you have it already that you use as a foundation, try it underneath your foundation. Now you can use whatever foundation you love. Okay, take a shot for every time I say foundation, but today I'm going to be using the Patrick Ta Luminous foundation. I know the girls are a little mad at him right now, but I did spend my money on this foundation and I think it's absolutely phenomenal. Now I'm a little bit more dry, so I much prefer this because it gives me a gorgeous dewy finish. Now how I like to apply it is actually with a brush because it's going to really maximize the amount of coverage that I get, and I just pat it onto the skin. Now for concealer, I'm going to be using the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. It's a oldie but a goodie in the shade Cookie, and I'm going to be applying it underneath my eyes, on the center of my forehead, the top of my lip, and my chin, skipping the nose, and you'll see why soon. And then I go in with the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Concealer, which is just a little bit brighter, and I focus that in the inner corner of my eye, and a little white concealer just for some added like oomph under the eye, okay? We want it to be bright and gorgeous. I like to leave it alone. That's what I'm trying to say, girl. And I go ahead and I start doing my bronzer. Now, the bronzer I use today for my cream bronzer is the NARS one. It's the Laguna bronzer, and I think shade 3. Absolutely love it. And after I finish applying it, by the way, you want to pat it into the skin. You don't want to swipe, because if you swipe, that's going to disrupt the foundation that you have going on, okay? So pat it into the skin. But after I do that, I like to fan my face because this is going to allow the concealer to dry down even more. And essentially the whole point of that is to help build the coverage of the concealer, allow it to not move as much, so that way when you're blending it out, it just pretty much stays where you applied it initially. So I take my favorite concealer brush, which is the Hourglass concealer brush, and I start to blend out all of my concealer. So my forehead, the top of my lip, my chin, and then I leave my under eyes lash just because we have that brighter concealer there and I don't want to put that anywhere else. It's gonna look a little intense, but don't worry, we are going to soak up any additional product, and any leftover concealer that I have on my brush as well as leftover bronzer, that is what I apply to my nose, because I don't really go in with a harsh contour and I don't want it to be like super bright down the center of my nose. So the leftover concealer, we just line it basically. And you could take that brush that you use for your bronzer just to pat out any harsh lines, because we definitely don't want a harsh contour on our nose. And then we finally pick up a beauty blender. I don't use beauty blenders as much as I used to, but I use it to soak up any additional products. So I go ahead and I pat every place that I applied the concealer just to soak up that product. And then we go in with my favorite part, cream blush. Okay, so I'm using the Huda Beauty one for today. Yes, I am, Alan. Don't tell them I'm not. Don't lie. So I just apply it to my cheeks and I bring it up to my temples because I like a really like strong blush. I just think it eats down every single time, and I make sure I use my beauty blender to blend out any creasing that may have happened while I did my blush, because you don't want to set already creased under eyes. If you don't learn anything else from this video, the one thing that you can learn is that the Charlotte Tilbury powder is something that you need. It's an essential. Before I even go in with any loose powders, I take the Charlotte Tilbury powder on a little powder puff thing and I set underneath my eyes, and then I go over with my Huda Beauty loose powder. This is really going to lock in your concealer and it is not going to move. It is not going to crease throughout the day. So you want want to put that pressed powder on first and then the loose powder, and then you follow up with all your other powder products like your bronzer. I'm using the Benefit Huda bronzer in caramel. I've been using it for years, and I pretty much just go over the areas that I applied the cream bronzer, patting it in again, y'all. We don't want to swipe. And then I'm gonna do my blush. Obviously use whatever blush makes you happy. I'm using the Juvia's Place one today. Also patting. As you can see, I'm never really swiping, I'm always patting. After I do that, I go back in with the Charlotte Tilbury powder. I use it in shade 2 when I want to highlight, and shade 3 if I want to apply it on the rest of my face, but I didn't do that because I want to keep that luminosity in certain areas. And pretty much we're at the end of it. I go ahead and I apply a little bit of highlighter in my nose. I don't apply highlighter to my cheeks anymore. Like, what is happening? And then for my setting sprays, I use the Morphe Continuous Mist just to melt all of that powder and really make it look like skin, but I lock it in with the All Nighter from Urban Decay, but I use the glowy one, the dewy one, because we want to continue that glow. I mean, honey, you see it. You see it. It looks good. Try these steps out and let me know how it works for you. Like I said in the tutorial, you can change the foundation to whatever foundation you love, but doing it in this order is really going to make sure that your foundation is not only flawless, but is going to last all night long. So if you found this video useful or entertaining, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.